afraid of the dark? Are you scared?
Welcome back to Surrey Supernatural, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Graham. Whether you like them or dislike them, today I will tell you about the history of the Ouija board. The Ouija board as we know it has been around since the 1880s, but talking boards have been used in historic circumstances for years before. A talking board was used way back in ancient Rome to predict who the next king would be. All around the world, spirit board writing has been used as a common method for communicating with the dead. In China, nearly a century ago, before it became outlawed, people were using it to communicate with the dead for a very long time. The Victorians were no exception to this, as they were fascinated by the thoughts of ghosts and supernatural. A movement started up called spiritualism, and they believed that the spirits of the dead were all around us and communicate with us when they were prompted to. The spread of the movement across North America and Europe resulted in the rise of consumers and new inventions. All kinds of products that claimed to contact spirits of dead people were being produced all the time. The familiar Ouija board as we know it today was invented and patented by Elijah Bond. It is unclear if Bond actually believed that his board could contact the dead, but he managed to persuade enough people to secure the patent for it. In North America, the manufacture and selling of the board was given to the Cunard Novelty Company, and in Canada, the International Novelty Company. Up to then, people had been using talking boards, but Bond's was the first ever commercial attempt to cash in on the era. The timing of the manufacture and selling made the board an instant success. Bond tried to patent another talking board for the end of his life, but the Ouija board was his only claim to fame. The Ouija board was marketed as a game, meaning that many middle-class families bought it for entertainment. With its claims of being able to contact past loved ones, many spiritualists bought one to assist in the goal of being able to communicate with the other side. Cunard Novelty Company didn't mind who was actually buying the game, as long as it was flying off the shelves. In the 1920s, just after the devastating First World War, the sales of the Ouija board peaked again, with many people, including celebrities and politicians, turning to the Ouija board to make contact with any lost loved ones they had lost. Even the Prime Minister at the time was known to use one in a bid to contact his lost loved ones. Unfortunately, it was not long after this that Bond passed away, but his obituary made no reference to the Ouija board, only to his family and the law career he left behind. In the mid-20th century, sales of the Ouija board went up and down until 1973, when the sales of the board came to a shuddering halt. The reason for this sudden halt was due to the film The Exorcist being released into the cinemas. The film was based on a true story of a young boy called Roland Doe who underwent a long exorcism in the 1940s. Although it's uncertain that the Ouija board was never involved in the true story. However, the board was to take a prominent part in the film, and even the writer of the book that inspired the film was convinced that the board was somehow connected with evil. The film showed the main character, a young girl, being possessed by demons after playing with a Ouija board. After this, the board's reputation was to be damaged forever. After all this, Ouija boards and other forms of spiritualism were all swept up in a mass panic. People had suddenly become totally petrified of the board, and almost overnight it became associated with Satan. During the rest of the 1970s and into the 1980s, the market became flooded with books and movies warning people that using a Ouija board and playing on it, and played on the ruse that it was a fact a way to contact evil spirits. Despite all the bad publicity the board received during the 20th century, the Ouija board is being rediscovered, and some people are beginning to feel more comfortable in its presence again. The appearance of the board in TV shows and films showing it as a game and not a way to contact evil has managed to repair some of the board's damaged reputation. There has even been competitions around the world to see who has the biggest Ouija board, but even still some people refuse to even be in the same room as one. Thank you for listening. What do you think about Ouija boards, and have you had any experience with one? Why don't you comment below? Please take a look at our YouTube channel for other podcasts and also videos of our paranormal investigations. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and remember, stay spooky.